Hello, Cast Dragon, and others. Twitch is saying there's already like 4 people in here, which is surprising. I didn't really have too much of a plan, which I never do. So I was thinking, since I was going to be working on the model anyway, probably just do that for a while. So it's going to be mainly just me talking, and of course you get to see the model, but it's going to be a little bit slow. But you know. Work always is. I also have a mug of soup. It's a really tall mug. It's a good one, but like full of soup. I need to get some stuff up. Cast Dragon, I'm assuming you've seen the model before at this point? Because I have shown it on the Hideout server. And it has been on stream before, like I did a stream of finishing it up. Which I was expecting to be the last stream on it. Because I was expecting it to be like pretty much done. I just like rig it up and then I'll be finished. And I have a visitor. Give me 1 second. That was my father. Apparently there's engineering work out in the garden. I have no idea what it was, but apparently it's not too important, so either he's gonna do it or it's gonna happen another time. Like, my dad did want to show me how chainsaw works, which is gonna be pretty interesting. But a couple like fairly small trees out in the garden that we want to get rid of. So he's going to teach me that at some point. Finally old enough to use a chainsaw. Wow. But yeah, no at the moment. Um, music. Let's get music up. Yeah, we like music. So we should have Blender. I'm not sure whether I'm going to show like my whole desktop or like just the specific windows. Probably going to be the whole desktop. I'm going to like the model I was like pretty much happy with. I still kind of want to fix up the face and the hair, but it's good enough, but I can like leave that till later. So I do still want to work on that. Just I don't really need to right now, you know. So my issue is I'm actually gonna go to desktop now. There we go. So um this cloak or robe or whatever you call it. Why is this not selecting? It's in place mode. So this is supposed to have a little bit of things on it. I'm gonna open my window because it's warm already. There we go. Fully open. So like you'll see if I hide the armature, it goes like over the arm, which means when I move this arm around, I want it to follow where the arm is. But I also want this section to sort of flap around, like with gravity and all of that, which is the main issue. I thought it was going to be really easy, and then I tried it, and it just didn't work. So, I need to fix that before I can actually use the model for anything. But that's what we're here for. But yeah. As I say, I'm assuming you've seen this before. Got this cool skull. I got a robe. I got ribs with organs inside. There's a light in there, which I'm not sure if I can actually get into the tracking software, but I'm gonna try. I'm pretty certain I can do it in Unity, but not in Blender. So I'm gonna finish up in Blender. I mean, it's basically already finished. I need to just tune it, and then once Blender is sorted, then I fix it up in Unity, and then it should be done. I need to test it with the actual tracking software, which you should get to see some of. I'm not sure if I'm going to do full tracking, because I do have a second camera I can plug in, get working. But I can also just do it with the hand tracking, because that's all I really need. Like, Windows doesn't like multiple programs using one camera. It's very unhappy about that. Hello, tree. So, to fix that, I either need to take that one camera input and then split it into two virtual cameras, which I can then plug into the two tracking softwares individually, or I just plug two cameras in and be done with it. So I have two cameras, and I'm too lazy to figure out the other way of doing it. Why is this? This kind of... what are we doing? What song do we want? Let's be copyright free. I mean, all of these are, but that limits what I can actually do. Oh, we'll just do that Heartbound OST again. That's good. Now skip forward a bit. That's not looping. I'll sort that out later. That's geometry. So yeah, I just need to try this with tracking and basically just tune the physics until it works. Because like Blender does have actual physics you can use. I'm not sure if that actually show up well here because it's not moving. But like it does have gravity and things like that you can use. You can like kind of see it at the start, even though it's not like intended to be animated here. But VRM does not have that. It's very annoying. It's louder than I wanted. I don't know what it's like for you guys. Assume you can even hear it. I'm actually looking at my OBS right now. There might not be. It's got the audio output capture, as it is just like really quiet. Yes, it was. My headphones are probably set really loud then. I'm kind of a professional if you can't tell. But yeah, so VRM doesn't have proper physics, but it does have, at least through Unity, a thing called spring joint, which does allow physics to happen properly. So I can put the robe, this bit, as a spring joint, and I can make that be affected by gravity. I might also be able to write a custom script, but I have no idea if that will actually accept it, because VRM doesn't seem the nicest file type to be playing with at the moment. So, spring joints on these four bones. It was two before, and I'm like changing up a bit, so hopefully it works better. My issue I had last time I was working with this is when I rotated this, then this entire section would rotate as well. So I've actually made it that this is now independent of the rotation of the arm, which does definitely help. But then you have the issue of you rotate this all the way around and that works. Kind of. But it doesn't rotate this part down here. That's actually not as bad as I thought it was. It looked really bad when I last did it. if I hide the armature, you'll see it's like goes around the wrist properly and then just gets very muddled up down here. Like that is not great, but you might be able to work with it. So that's what Blender is at the moment. And the next step is Unity. Because it seems most of the VTubing software, stuff like that, going through Vroid. Wonder if I can make the cloak here. That would be good, but I'm not entirely sure if that would actually work with gravity and all. I might be able to. I'm not. This is my first time properly working with the VRM file format, so it's like there's probably a lot of things I can do that I just don't know about, and a lot of things that I do know parts about, but not enough to actually put a final version up. So I probably can do something with her, I just don't know how yet. And you'll see in Unity that I've only got a couple scripts I can actually use with VRM, at least through Unity. There's probably more, but... And again, I can probably make some. I know how to use Unity. It's like Unity is where I learnt to code, pretty much. I was doing game devs there back in high school, so it's like, if I can make anything work, it's probably going to be Unity. But it's whether I can make it work with VRM, which, who knows. Soup's good though. We like soup. Come on, Unity. Unity takes forever. No. I only actually use Unity nowadays for VRM. No, even like looking at my files, it's I did open these like a couple months ago, but like even then, it's like I'm pretty sure I only opened those to actually like check what was going on. I wasn't actually like coding in them or anything, so Unity is like mostly abandoned for me at this point. Because I dropped it when they're messing with the financial side of it. Because Unity has historically always been free for like the average person to start. And you only actually have to pay for it once you're either earning money on it or if you're a corporation. Which most people aren't. So it's like very good. And then they try to force everyone to give them money for pretty much everything on it. And like, it was really dumb. Like, you had people who were like putting their numbers up, and because it was supposed to apply retroactively to all the previous sales, you'd have people that, if they agreed to the new terms, would be like millions in debt kind of thing, which is very bad. But see, I moved to Godot during that, and Unity has for the most part fixed himself up, but like Unity is still corporate, and the corporate have shown that they're kind of dodgy. And then you have Godot, which is community made, open source, so like there isn't a corporation or management or anything like that that can screw you over kind of thing. And like playing with it, it is actually like very good. Like if you know what you're doing, then it is like very comparable to the power of Unity itself. Which Unity, very good, but honestly, even if it wasn't for the whole like scandals and stuff like that, I'd probably still be using Godot over Unity at this point. Like Unity's better for learning, but like once you know what you're doing, like Godot is good, you know? Alright, let's have a look at this. This is the state that I left the model in. So you got all the different bones here. And the ones we're interested in are robe inner arm, which is that one. Ah, that is interesting. And apparently, the robe outer arm is this one, which is notably on the inside, not the outside. I'm not quite sure why that is like that. It's not supposed to be. I can actually go through this whole thing and see if that's on here as well. I think the version in this is a couple versions old from the Blender standpoint. So it might be that I renamed these in Unity, and then these ones might actually have the correct name. Spine, shoulder, upper arm. Yeah, so it's named correctly in Blender now, but apparently not the Unity version. So I need to update that at some point. Okay, so this is the spring joint, which I'm not sure if you can actually read. I'll make this like a little bit bigger, just for a moment for you guys. Or apparently OBS does not want me to resize stuff. That's interesting. Anyway, so these are just the options I have here. I have stiffness, gravity, gravity direction, drag force, and what bones it's connected to. That's all I've got there. Change my headphones. And these do correctly mess with the model that is working as intended. Oops. This also probably isn't particularly exciting. So we've got that working, and that exports to VC face, which it's gonna load up eventually. And then from VC face, because VC face is very good for the face, but it does not have hand tracking, which I do kind of want. So I've got a different setup specifically for that, which isn't in that folder. It is in this one. That is OBS. Anyway, so I use DSS Body Tracker 2, which is made by some Japanese guy. Like the entire website I got this from is in Japanese. I have no idea what was actually written on it, so I have no idea who made this, or just like any information about it. I just have it, and it seems to work pretty good. And why is everything so hot? I'll move that back. So this is connected to my laptop webcam at the moment. So this should be able to track me. This is running an old version of the model, because the tracking from here gets input into VC face, which is over here, and then that's like VC face can combine the face tracking and the hand tracking, which is quite useful. So this is just a virtual webcam which isn't actually connected to anything. And as you'll probably notice, the physics on the arms are kind of weird and not what I want. And a fly just came through my window. That's gonna annoy me soon. But that's really gonna annoy me. Anyways, I need to make sure now. So this is VC face. Very useful. You can move some stuff around. And this is what I'm doing hand tracking with. So we'll start the camera on this. And you should see hands. Should. Oh, apparently not. Apparently not. Unless OBS has taken the camera, which it probably has. Okay, well, this is what I was saying about only one program can use a camera at a time. So apparently OBS has locked me out of my main camera, but I still have that secondary camera. Because the main camera is supposed to be used for face tracking on VSeeFace. And then the second camera I'm going to use was hand tracking. It's actually completely fine for me to be using a second camera for this. Where is it? It is not showing up there, which is not great considering it is plugged in. We'll just reboot that. It's probably fine. And I may be able to find something like proper to stream on the solos at some point. I'm pretty sure I did this exact same thing on my last solo. Like, it's very productive for me, but again, I'm assuming it's not the most entertaining. But, you know, I need to get this done anyway. So this is my secondary camera. So I can load that up. I have to actually put my camera somewhere. Which, put it on my radiator, maybe. Okay. So that might work. I could do the debug mode so I can actually see stuff. And my entire camera's like tilted slightly, which is an issue. I have not yet shown the webcam yet. Maybe someday, but this should only be used for tracking. There are things like debug mode where you would be able to see like the points how much it's tracking me on, which I would usually have on just so I can see like where I am on the camera, but we're not doing that. But yeah, it shouldn't have any possibility of actually showing anything. Even if it does, I don't really care that much. Like, again, I haven't shown face yet, done like an actual reveal or anything, but it's not something that I really care about. It's more just tradition of, like, everyone does the whole thing of like not showing their face and the whole being a whole big deal. Like, it's kind of like gone like into my head that I need to be careful about it, even though I don't really. Anyway, so the reason why I'm not using this tracking software is you'll see with the eyes, if I like look way to the side kind of thing, it's hard for me to like see it with you. They get like really jittery and they stop working. It's like there. Again, like hard to show. Like my eyes aren't moving at the moment, and yet the tracking is going crazy on them. They cannot do proper eye tracking. Everything else, really good, but the eyes are terrible. And there's like no like settings for the tracking or anything. So I wouldn't be able to fix that if I was using only this. But VSeeFace, notably, like can do it. But again, you'll see with the physics on the arms, it's like real sketchy and not what I want. Like, it could be worse, but it ain't good, you know? It ain't good. Oh, hey, it's Dayton. Hello, Dayton. So, the main issue I think I'm having at the moment with this, like, even though the physics are messed up, I don't think that's the main cause. The main cause is when the wrists were rotating, then this entire bone would also rotate, be like if that went like that, then this would also go like that, which is then not very good at all. So you'll see I've changed the bone settings here, which mean that this will no longer rotate. So I need to export this, I need to put it through Unity, and put that back into VC Face. Hopefully, VC Face will be able to retain the bone settings, which it has a lot of issues keeping the settings, so it might not, but if it does, then that should be quite helpful. But it's like kind of hard to actually tell. So for the face tracking, which is currently turned off because it wants a webcam, and I've got two and OBS is for the main one. I'm using VC Face for the face. It's very good at that. But I don't have hand tracking. So for hand tracking, I'm using DSS Body Tracker 2, which I got from some Japanese website. I could probably find it again if you want it. But like the entire website's in Japanese, so I have no idea anything about it. Which like this is actually like really good, but it cannot do eyes like at all, and doesn't have any settings, so you can't actually like fix the eyes being all screwed up. But I don't like, even though this tracks everything else really well, like I don't want to have the eyes being all messed up, you know. I also have soup here. So, what you can do is in VC Face, if you go into Settings, General Settings, then you can do OSC VMC Receiver, which means it will turn off its own tracking and it will use another program's tracking. In which case, in this case, DSS Body Tracker is outputting on VMC. That's it far away. I'm assuming you're asking for the DSS files, which I can do. Not sure if it would be easy to rezip the one I have now or find the original website for it. I probably could. I'm pretty sure it's I've got it saved to my YouTube stuff. So I should have a playlist of learning stuff, which is mostly private. You get a little bit sneak peek into the stuff I have here. Well, I've like never saved, never deleted a playlist, so this has like probably like 10 years worth of playlists. I got like a lot of them, you know. Okay, where's learning? I just do Control F. That's Control D. Learning. Not the one I want. This one. It's on Boost. I don't know what Boost is. So this one was really good. Like, this is a really good tutorial. Oh, my voice. And I believe this is where I got it from. I think. Maybe not, apparently. I got Rusty Cage on here. Okay, well, I'll just rezip it and send you the files after stream. I could do it now, but it's kind of a pain. So, I need to give myself a reminder to do that, which, I know what I can do. There you go. Now I remember. Tree has sent a link, which I'm guessing is what is my tracking doing? Is the DSS body tracker, which is very nice, cool. That makes it easier. So, anyway, with this you can have this inputting the tracking from DSS, and then you can also do apply VC face and put some of the original tracking back in. So I've got all the face stuff here, and then like the arms aren't being applied. That is still using the DSS body tracker. That's what I'm doing. Oh. Okay, see you around, Cast Dragon. Thanks for dropping by. I mean the physics on this are like very, very scuffed at the moment. They don't look too closely at it, but once it's done, it should be pretty good. Chat chatting. Oh, I did put a thing like directly in front of my camera. That's probably not helping. So we're gonna stop the tracking on this just to save some power, and we're gonna re-export this. I'm using plugins for Blender to get the VRM, so that like isn't a standard option. So if you want to do it yourself, you've got to actually find that plugin wherever it is. So that should have exported, and in Unity I'm gonna delete the backup, rename the current one to be a backup. Rename self back. And then I'm gonna take the one I just outputted from Blender into Unity, which is somewhere self.vrm, that's the one. So put that in as a prefab, and then we can edit the prefab. Dating. On my experience with Blender, kind of. I know my way around it. I'm not like particularly great, but I know enough. Like everything in this model was made by me, which I mean, it's still like it's not great, but it's like I know enough to get this done, and I can do the rigging for it. The only reason why this isn't working particularly well is I have to use the VRM rigging, which I don't really have any experience with. But Blender itself I can do. As for videos, I have no idea. I haven't kept track of them. So I might be able to dig some up, but you know. I mean, I might have some of the learning playlists, but most of it is like kind of buried. I'll know what's that at some point. Anyway, Unity. I have never got that issue before. I might have just filled up my hard drive, or SSD. Yes, I have. Whoops. Yeah, well. Let's go and install some Steam games. I really ought to up the SSD in this at some point. What can I get rid of? HoloX Break, install Shopkeep, uninstall I could probably uninstall Stardew Valley. Yeah, I abuse my SSD, like, you know. I'm used to having a 2 TB hard drive and an SSD. Oh, hello, Jar Jar. So, switching from 2 TB hard drive plus an SSD to just a 500 gig SSD, it's like I'm used to having significantly more space than this, so I do run out quite often. Not too bad, but I'm sure this is probably fine. I do have a This is only supposed to make one file in here. I'm not sure why it's made two. I'm gonna go ahead and re-import that, just in case it's scuffed. Which, I mean, we should have some more space now. Yeah, 2.7 gigabytes. Jar Jar getting bullied. So, this should be fine now, and I can just do exactly what I did before. Self.vrm. Stick that into here. It should only make one prefab. Don't know why I made two before. And now we're not responding. A site issue. Unity is very slow compared to Godot. Like, Godot, there really isn't much to it, but it means it can work very quickly, very efficiently. Unity is like really, really big, which means it can do a lot of things, but it's pretty slow, you know? I could also try switching power mode, but like, my legs are already quite hot at this point. Okay, same issue as before. You have a VRM and a prefab. I have no idea why. I can also delete this one. And this is an object and not the prefab, so deleting the object won't actually affect the prefab in any way. I could have Powerful Unity. I mean, it runs at the moment. I'm just like, because temperature is a big issue for me. Like, I'm in a small room with a small window, which is only like, the curtain's only half open. I can open it up for me. No, it's probably gonna help. And, you know, I'm in bed with my laptop on my lap, so it's gonna get hot pretty quickly. So I have to run everything like fairly low power just so I can actually do things without overheating. So the inner and the outer are now correctly labeled. They don't have the spring joints anymore, but I can just make this back. Yeah, so these are all the VRM built-in scripts. So blend shapes aren't related to this. First person aren't related. Description we don't care about. Look at is I don't think you could do anything for what we want. I mean, it might be able to, but I'm pretty sure that's just the standard moving stuff around, which. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this one's for the head, just. I mean, is looking around with the head, which isn't any good. Anyway, so the one we're interested in is the VRM Springbone, which I'm actually going to take a look at, which It should be in here somewhere. Editor. Export mono behavior. Can I search? It's been a while since I've done this. Spring. VRM Spring bone validator Springbone. So I wanna take a look at what's actually happening on the back end here. Because I might be able to actually edit the code running this to get something slightly better. Which again, I have no idea if VRM is actually compatible with, but if it is, then that would be pretty useful to actually get used to and have access to. Because this is empty. This has nothing in it. Okay, well, we'll look at the other ones. We've got Springbone Editor, we've got Springbone Collider, Springbone Collider Group, VRM Springbone. I think this is the one we actually want. Yes, this does in fact have code. So, anything that says Gizmo is just visual stuff within the editor. It doesn't actually change how it's going to perform at all. So anything that says that, we can ignore. Like, this is a gizmo, we don't care. This is a gizmo, we don't care. Stuff like that. That's going to save us a lot of time. And the rest we're just going to have a little bit of a look through. I'm going to try to explain some of it, even though I have never seen this before. So, serialized fields are used for saving data. So these are going to be variables that whoever made all of this wants to keep. I should probably also move chat so you guys can actually see anything that's going on here. Put you over there. So all of these are just going to be variables that they want to be able to save, which be for, like, when you save it as a VRM file and import it to something like VCFace. VCFace needs to be able to see what the settings are. So you have to keep the settings in here as something you can output to here, and it's also very good for having it in the editor. So, do I have a second fly in my room? Yes, I do. I have a bug net up. It's like, it's not that loose, because I don't think it'd actually be that important, but apparently it's not doing a whole lot. Maybe I'll actually like put it down properly at some point. For now I just have flies in my room though. I'm not going to be able to get out now because the bug net's up. Which is just great. Good going, me. Okay. So serialized stuff can be saved a lot easier and also displayed in the editor a lot easier. Like stuff like this, you got the like title information, you got a whole load of settings. A lot of variables Unity won't display normally, but by serializing it, you can get it to work. I'll skip this one. It's kind of goofy. Goofy is kind of good. So this is all just variables that are saved. This is well, we don't care about that. These are all just variables. They have given us comments. The original is this, so we'll take a look. That no longer exists, so that's nice. So, the logic. We got a bunch of variables, which we don't care about. We have a thing here, which looks like more variables, to be honest. So it looks like this is declaring variables, and this is actually putting them together. Maybe. Because you got like bone access here, and it's also being used in this grouping. That's more of just variables, we don't care about that. These are variables. This is a variable. This is a one line of code which is used to set a variable, which we also don't really care about. That's a variable. This looks important. So update happens every frame, meaning if something is being calculated in the update function, then it's important enough that it has to be calculated on every single frame that this thing is running for, which, no, it's usually where the good stuff is held. All the comments are also in Japanese. That's very helpful. We love getting through Japanese code. I totally understand all of this. Okay, what have we got? They're using fancy symbols, but I don't think that really makes a difference. These are yay. These are setting a variable, which this is a boolean because it's setting it to a comparison. This is going to be some sort of if / something like that kind of statement, which you know, I don't actually know what that symbol means. I probably should, but I don't think it's actually important for us right now. So, this is doing actual maths. This looks very important. I have no idea what the tail is in this context, but this is actual maths and not doing something else. I do really have no idea what the tail is here. It's in like here, here, and over here. So it's definitely like important, but I don't know what it is. So this is taking the drag force into account, it's taking the stiffness force into account, which is significant. It's handling rotation, something to do with this tail, which it could be a literal tail, but I'd be surprised if it's... You wouldn't have a whole section of code just for one thing, but it's possible that they are just calling every bone a tail. Which, if they were doing that, you'd expect there to be a loop somewhere to actually go through all of them. I'm not sure why it's current tail, previous tail. And it's going sequentially through something on every frame. You know? Like, there's no loop here, so it's only doing it once. It's got a current thing that it's going for, and it's got the previous thing that it's going for. And it's only handling one thing at a time, and then it's changing that on each loop using this, which, again, it's just referring to that as current tail and next tail, which, who knows? So that's some actual physics. It could be really important. We'll come back to it. Apply rotation, that's literally just rotating stuff. Collision, So this has a loop. This is significant. It's also protected. Not sure why it's protected. You'd usually just use private. Like, having it protected does prevent, like, other code from being able to get to it. Like, public stuff, anything can access. Private stuff, other stuff isn't supposed to access, but it can. And then protected is cutting everything out of the normal ways of getting to it. But there's still ways to get around the protected. So this is like private with extra sets kind of thing. Collision, I actually don't care about collision, because we're not using that. And then this is a gizmo, which we don't care about. So when this code becomes active, it calls this setup, which, if there is a bone which in the setup here, I need to actually get it up so I can show you guys. So it's got a list of root bones, which is just every bone that's going to affect. So the root bones is just which bones get an output, pretty much. So that doesn't actually mean a whole lot to us. It kind of implied. I'm also like nearly out of soup now. I'm gonna finish it. Okay, no more soup. Soup is done. So this is only called like on the first frame, which I'm guessing is just setting it to where it starts. But if it's like only on the first frame, I don't think we actually care about that. Set local rotations. We don't care, that's just an initialization. Get children, we don't care. Set up recursive. Man, so much stuff here. I'm fairly certain looking through the rest of this, the only thing that we actually care about, unless it's fixed update, no. The only thing we actually care about is the update one, which is all of this. I'm not actually certain how this is running. See you soon, Dayton. No BRB. Oh, beans. You like beans. So if I want to mess with it, these appear to be the variables I want to mess with. Which... I probably want to have a close look at where the tables are coming from. Don't tell me how many there are. Tails have gizmos. It is called at the very beginning of the code. So it's called here, well, it's declared here, but not actually assigned anything. And then this is where it actually gets a value. So, world chart position, blah 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 blah. So I believe this is... I need to actually check what those symbols mean. I'm guessing it's getting that from, you got a center variable here, so I'm assuming it's just assigning that, which means tail is big bone, and then it's figuring out the rest. Like the rest of this will be so it's getting the child position, which will be the child of whatever it's connected to, which is the bone. So it's just going to be like, if it is assigned a bone, then that's what it is. If it isn't assigned a bone, then it will find the most suitable bone for it to go to. Which, well, it still doesn't tell us a whole lot. It means that the tail is in fact a bone. And now where to go? So this is apparently only calling one bone per frame, which is quite surprising actually, because that means like only one bone is being simulated at a time, which I'm guessing just happens fast enough where it's not an issue. But you'd think it would call every single bone. But apparently not. So I can try editing this stuff. I don't think it's really important. I'm kind of surprised it's doing normalized stuff on the bones. So it gets a position, and then it finds the start of the next bone minus the current position. So it's kind of just making up its own bone there, I think. I don't think this is actually using the original bones it gets provided with. I think it makes a new bone for every setup it does, which is presumably to fix issues with bones not connecting, and then it just assigns the mesh of whatever that bone was connected to. Again, there's probably better ways of doing it, but it seems to work. Anyway, so we're not going to be editing this now, but it is good to know. I'm not sure why I went through that whole thing there. And we are just going to try basically just see whether the updated bone structure is going to work with VRM. Actually, just move some bones around now and see if that actually works. Okay, this bone is connected to the outer rope. So if I rotate this and the bottom half rotates as well, then it hasn't done it properly. Like such. Okay. Well, great. What did I do to bones? So the thing I did in Blender to stop it from rotating is not applying here, which I thought it would. Well, I hoped it would. But yeah, so the bone settings don't actually carry over to VRM, which is kind of annoying. So that fix isn't going to work, so I have to find a new way of doing it, which, again, not great, but we'll figure it out. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna fix it now, which is why I have an entire block of time dedicated to this. Because I was expecting it to just be a very quick, like, rig it up and I'd be done, but that is not the case. And I'm not sure why. Well, I'm not sure how to fix it. I'll figure it out, but like, VRM is a very limited file format, and it is not cooperating very well with me. How am I gonna fix this? I can check the hair idea. Let's do like VRM hair. I put it on like Blender. Cause I'm fairly certain it's not going to do what I want, but that's like half an hour long. I probably also shouldn't watch other people's stuff on stream, so I'll like go for like highlights. I'm gonna have a quick look to see whether they're using spring bones or something else. I made this model myself. It's so a lot of it. If you saw the dancing Midas thing I did like a way ago, I actually took the face and eyes from that, which was very rushed at the time, so I might not actually keep them. But yeah, all of this was made for me. It's just hair doesn't care about clipping tomorrow. That is not something I'm concerned about. It's just how to actually set it, because I need to like manually tell this that it's gonna be hair, which again I don't know whether that's just a spring bone it's using or if it's something else. So that's why I got this up. We're just gonna have a look to see what setup they use, because the stuff they're doing in Blender shouldn't carry over to VRM, so I'm expecting to see Unity at the end of this, which they don't have. That is surprising. There might be something I can figure out here, but this is a very different setup. This probably isn't for the VRM file type. I don't think this is what I'm doing. I have a visitor. Give me 1 second. Okay, I am back. I did also just punch a fly. Like my hand made contact with it. Yeah, I'm expecting that all to be using the spring bone. Anything else we have here? Like, we do need the iron specifically. Have a look at this. Yeah, I don't actually know what I'm doing here, so it might just be me like fading for a while. I got a notification. Don't care about this. Only Victor Hair Mesh plus VRM. Is this gravity affected? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. VRM hair physics automatic. Blah 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 blah. Hey, it's a Yumi. Guys, why not? Okay, I'm gonna turn a couple things off just to get the heat down. Don't need that. We don't need that. I don't need this anymore. I'm gonna move my duvet out a little bit. And we'll change the position up. Okay. Laying all the way back now. It is Ayumi, yes. I wasn't expecting to see her hair. I'm guessing because I followed her, she probably comes up top. But this actually only has like a couple likes per person, so she might actually be like top here normally. Hard to tell. Should I package it as an add-on? Yes, you should. I got like very cool. Message from Tree. An issue with making it hair could be something connected to head movements. That shouldn't be an issue. I don't think so. It's just actually making it hair. Because Vuoid has a whole setup for it. Unity has things it can use, but I don't think I have actual hair. Like, I mean, there could be something, I just don't think there is. Yeah, I'm looking at meta information, Spring Bring Collider Group. I'm gonna take down my my bug mesh for a minute, just so the flies out, because they're like stuck inside at the moment. Okay, flies are gone. Netting is down, but yeah, I'll put it back up later. I have to like put it in better so it doesn't trap things on the inside. I could pull an actual Vuoid model itself, put it into Unity and see if I can figure out what it's using through that. That's probably an idea. So we'll try that. You think you can flick it with your hand. So could work. Yeah, it's you can do that on Spring Bone 2. Again, it's just what it's using. I don't know what it has. Why isn't it Vuoid? There it is. So I'm gonna make a quick model here just with hair. So I can then import that into Unity and just see what it's using. I'll do feminine. I'm literally just gonna put some long hair on it and import that. I'm not sure if it's actually gonna have anything, but again, I don't know how to fix this yet. I'm just kind of testing till something comes up. Don't care about anything but the hair. Where is it? Cheeks, lips, and mouth. Hairstyle up here. Want something long, ideally a ponytail. Ponytail could work. What's the button for rotating? It's none of what I expect it to be. Okay. So twin tail could work. Do a ponytail. This one might be best. Yeah, we'll try this. So this should have the physics on it. So export this to VRM, which should have all of the physics information in it. And we'll try and reverse engineer whatever they're using for that. Once this actually comes up, I can speed it up a little bit so I'm not here all day. I've been going for like a full hour already, apparently. That's longer than I thought. I guess I haven't really done anything yet. We're gonna reduce a couple of things just so I don't have to deal with it. I don't want to do one, but I'll put all these like 50. Just because I don't want to deal with 29,000 polygons. That's 25,000. 23,000. 1,000. 19. Sexy, but I don't care. 18. good enough. I can't be able to fix it yet. We're gonna do just hair physics. Created by A. Don't care about the settings. VRM0 is what we want. That's VRM1, which you could try. I've no idea like how different it is. I'm not sure if Unity actually has a setup for it, but we could look into it. Might help. It should be exporting now. I will close this. I might need it again, but it's fast enough I can just relaunch it. So for this, I'm gonna delete this object. It's still as a prefab, so I can get it back on exactly as it was. VRM1 doesn't work in VC face. Thank you for telling me. That does save me some time. VRM0, we're gonna import the hair test. Hair physics is what we want. Put that in as a prefab. So, I'm expecting to see an extra piece of code on the hair bones, like we had the spring bone on the right, like in the inspector menu. So, I'm hoping then that will be there. And if it isn't, well, there goes that idea. Don't care about any of that, so we go into the prefab options. We do have hair options here. Got 4 different, no. We got 13, 12 rather. We got 12 different sections of hair. And I was kind of expecting only one, but sure. So somewhere in this mess, there should be a piece of code somewhere. We got a spring bone collider group on the head, which means a spring bone can collide with the head, which is a bad sign because it's probably meaning that the hair uses spring bones. The neck also collides with the hair, or with spring bones. Chest does. Okay, well, everything apparently collides with spring bones. And so it shouldn't be in anywhere in the shoulder. Shouldn't be in the other shoulder. Shouldn't be in the legs. We've got hair here apparently, which is the object itself, not the physics. All this is doing is being rendered as a skinned mesh, which again you probably can't see because there's just stuff everywhere. So this, I'm fairly certain, doesn't actually mean anything. Like, you'll see all the different body parts have just this. And it's got a bunch of shaders here, but I don't think they're actually affecting anything. So what we're looking for should be somewhere in this mess, but I'm not seeing it. Oh. Unless there's something just in the root itself. There shouldn't be, but there could be. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. That doesn't have anything on it. This is first person. This is how it's being rendered. Got an animator. What's animating? I don't think I can actually access that, but interesting to see that it's there. Because that could be where the hair physics comes from. I'm not entirely sure. Avatar is in here apparently. It's the exact same thing I had before. The animator doesn't have a controller. That's actually very important. This isn't going to be animating. At least not just from this. VOM humanoid, that's a description, we don't care about that. VOM meta, that doesn't have anything. Why do I not have any hair physics here? Just anywhere. How is it running? And that's his shoulders, okay. That's an anchor override. I don't think that's important. Probes, root bones, materials. Hey, lighting is on here. This doesn't have what I'm looking for. I'm assuming this does actually have physics on it. And I export this and just like see where it is. Yeah, okay. Because this should have physics on it, but I'm not actually seeing the code for it. This is requiring a version. I'll just call it 0, apparently. I don't really care. Put that into not software. Into Doodles. Efforts. We will replace it. Because if it isn't working, then the visual doesn't really matter. Probably would have been good to keep it. And we will try this on the DDS tracker. Wherever that went. Go to desktop for a moment. Don't look too closely. Tools. DSS. And we should be able to load a model into this. Be under Doodles. And hopefully we'll see physics on this. Have physics. Oh, it's very bright. So, starting that up, my camera's like way to the side and I'm laying it all the way back. Yeah, like that has physics on the hair. It's like the information is being stored. It's just I have no idea where it's getting it from. Unless yeah, there's no actual information stored, at least on Unity, for the different hair sections. I don't know where it's been kept. So you'd expect the other thing to be stored like above it, like in the neck, but it's not. It has colliders in here. I don't think they're actually significant, but yeah, I am doing some weird stuff in my body. I'm laying back in bed, like fully laying back, and it's The tracking doesn't particularly like that. But, you know, it's, some things must be done. And I just don't know where it's getting the physics. I don't know why it's doing this. And this is like built into the but like this naming wouldn't make sense if it was built in. Because it should be like different naming on each setup, so it's information is being stored somewhere and it is not where anywhere where I'm looking. I'm trying putting this into Blender. So I'll save this and we will we'll do a new file actually so I don't mess with anything. Delete starting cube and we will import a VOM. And we're gonna import loads of junk there. This is near where I want. Do hair physics. I'm gonna go through this and we're gonna look for the source of that physics. Because again, it's hiding from me. I'm not sure I can see the feet through the through the shoes. That doesn't seem intentional. Yeah, that's wrong. So there's no built-in physics that Unity can detect. We've got the armature, we've got the hair. What, modifiers? That's just the armature. So looking at this, we can see that each section of hair does have its own bone, which is significant, but I don't know what's controlling them. You've got vertex groups on literally everything. That's not going to be much help. This does also just have the hair as a whole. Hello, Helter. So I have an issue with my model, which there is a fix for, but I have no idea how to get it from VIM, because VIM has physics, which you can use for hair and stuff like that, which I need to be able to access, because in my, I can just save this for now, do, hair physics. Yeah. It's like, if I can find how it's doing the physics, then I can apply that physics to my cloak, as I'm calling it here, cloak, robe, whatever you want, so that can actually work. But I can't figure out how it's doing it. I spent the last hour just like digging through various VRM stuff to get that, and I am getting nowhere so far. Because I was using spring bones for this, and they don't work so good. Like, they're not bad, but it's like they're kind of bad, you know. For this, they're bad. I'm sure there's like many good applications, but it's not doing what I want it to, which kind of sucks. So, if I can apply whatever handles the hair physics to the cloak, then everything should work. I just can't figure out how to actually get to that physics. So, I'm currently just trying to basically reverse engineer the proper models, because like this hair system does work. Unity, I'm going through it and it's just not got any scripting on it at all. So whenever it's using Unity either isn't detecting or I'm not seeing. But there's nothing in here. We've got colliders here which shouldn't do anything on their own and it's all over the place, so shouldn't do anything anyway. Hair physics is just a name of what it is, of the model. I called that in Vroid. And then going through here, there's like nothing that should actually do any of that. Like none of this is actually connected to the hair. So, you know, there's information hiding from me, and I have no idea where to get it from. I could possibly just steal a hair like this and like deform it to be cloak shaped, which would be that would be the worst solution I've ever done ever. Like it would probably work, but I'm hoping I don't have to resort to that. Like it's one armature for everything here. I've got the bones coming off of here, so if there's anything fancy being applied to the bones, I should be able to see it here. Yeah. Yeah, reverse engineering a piece of code that I have very little experience with, and I don't think there's an actual guide for how it works, like a manual or anything. Like, nothing can actually, like, detect what it's doing. I have no idea what's in the VRM file format. In fact, I can just take a look. Like, I'd be amazed if I can actually find anything here, but, like, maybe I can actually edit the back end. Oh. Yeah, no, I can't. There's a lot of information in here, but I can't get that without actually like decoding it somehow. I don't even know like what this is built on. I don't have any idea of how I'd actually pull it apart. And even then, I don't know what I'm looking for. I know what it does, but I don't know what it is. So even if I could make sense of this, I still don't know what I'm looking for. Okay, let's look for the hairbones. Neck, head, hair. What is special about you compared to the rest? The neck shouldn't have any hair physics. So, if we see something different between the two of them, that is a very good sign. Look at the deform. Nothing there. Relations. Nothing there. Bendy bones? Bendy bones. Hold on, bendy bones. That sounds like a bone that can bend. That doesn't actually have anything. that sounds exactly what I'm looking for. But I mean it's identical between like the neck and the hair, which should have physics on. Like, it should be in here somewhere. I don't think it's bendy bones. It sounds exactly what I'm looking for. But if it was how it's being handled, then you'd be able to see a difference between the hair bones and the not hair bones. Maybe also look up how accessories are made. That may help. Yeah. I have no idea how accessories are made. I'm guessing you mean like props and stuff? I don't really know. As I said, I have very little experience. I'm kind of just figuring stuff out as I go. I guess. Like, can you do like accessories with physics? Or was it? Because I've seen like Tree do it. Uh, Tree has found a tutorial that shows how to fix props, but they're already made using hair. only immediately. I mean, that might still be useful, because if the hair isn't the focus, it might still show me where I'm looking for. Viewport display we don't care about. These are not something not any different from the rest, so we don't care about that. Custom properties might. It's not there. The eyes have local rotation, which is different, but I'm not so sure that's what we're looking for. We don't care about MMD. We can make it dance. That's something different. Maybe create the cloak, then apply jiggle physics to it. I have done that, but VRM doesn't use the same setup to how Blender does it. So, whatever I apply in Blender probably isn't going to apply in VRM. But I do have don't save changes. Because I do have physics on here. If I change it posing slightly, then we should be able to see it like so. That apparently doesn't. That still doesn't. Okay, what am I doing? Like this has this does have physics on. We'll look at this side and just not save the changes. Hide the armature. So like this does move, and it has physics. Oh. Mind-boggling effects, yeah. Yeah. Mind-boggling. Why is that suddenly doing that? That wasn't doing that before. Yes, it's like I've literally just changed it. Let's open it up again and run it. Okay, that was just whatever I just did to the bone scuffed things. It's like surprising that I can make that much of a difference. How many ribs do I have? So I actually tried to count my my real ribs for this one. So behind the armature, that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 connected ribs. And then these are floating ribs, which I actually have in my real rib cage, in which it's like these ribs do not connect to the other ribs. You'll see all of these are connected along the middle, and then there's just a gap, and that isn't connected. So this is roughly what my spine looks like in real life. I, of course, have not seen my actual spine, so I can only estimate, but this is like roughly my spine layout. I mean, like the up and down is like probably not accurate, but like the general like length and whether they're connected should be rough like that. I mean, I feel like an X-ray would be slightly overkill for making a VTubing model. But yeah, this is roughly what it's like, just in length, and yeah, it's a little bit off, but no scoliosis. Yeah, I probably ought to do the spine too. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it's it's good enough. It's good enough. I probably was like put some actual markers in. I'm pretty sure if I put it on this, like, you do get bumps from the smooth shading. So, you do actually get ridges on the spine, it's just not in the geometry itself. I mean, it is, but like, it's not as evident. So I maybe should like make that more pronounced, and it's definitely like my spine is not quite that straight, but I just want to get something working. So that's my moves. Okay. What else can I even check in the hair physics? Like, I don't even know what there is. Like armature, root, options. Spine, chest, upper chest, neck, head, hair. So, oh, we have more options there. Because we have the armature or the individual bone. We've gone through the individual bone, and none of these are actually unique to the hair, which means that this menu shouldn't have what we're looking for. But we go to the armature itself, see if there's anything going on in here, which, I mean, I don't know if there will be, I'm not entirely hopeful. It's probably going to be something I have to spend a couple hours watching tutorials for, which I probably shouldn't do on stream because it's other people's content, and like, I'm supposed to be on the hosting, not just YouTube itself. But if we can find any reference to the hair in this, which we haven't done so far, but if we can, then that is significant. It's not in here. Like, where is it? I am just gonna end up looking up actual hair tutorials. Because, like, there will be tutorials on how to make hair. It's just gonna be a lot of random YouTube watching kind of stuff, which is gonna take me a long time. But I think with how little information this stuff has given me, I think I kind of have to. BRM? BRM? What is this? Object properties. It has a spring bone? Does this thing have a spring bone? Okay, they appear to all have the spring bone property. Showing me this is actually selecting the individual bones into the armature. I'm fairly certain it's just selecting the armature. But this is a menu specific to VRM. This has references to all the hair bones. And it's got a couple other references. It's got the chest, like jiggle physics. It's got apparently the upper leg and upper arm, which I'm not sure why it has those, but it has hair. Just like actual hair. And this is a spring bone, which is significant. It's got one bone for one reference, and then it's got a different reference for every section of hair. Ah, these may be what we were looking for. this is significant. So that may finally be the one thing I was looking for. Which it is. If it is, then it's working through spring bones, which is what I was originally trying, but wasn't getting the results I wanted. So it might just be settings for this. And it doesn't have gravity on it. So I mean, it shouldn't be affected by, well, gravity. Which doesn't seem like it'd be quite right. But maybe there's something funky going on the back end. It's like, it is definitely affected by gravity in the tracking. I'm actually doubting myself now. Let's pull this up. I'm gonna look really weird because I'm, well, in bed. Let's have a look at this. It's also really bright. It's like, this, are you being affected by gravity? And lean all the way over. So you see, this actually isn't being affected by gravity. I can move my head around. It's like, here it's normal. I move here. It's like, you see, so like, when I hold my head at an angle, gravity is not being affected, so it looks like this is actually accurate. There's also something weird going on the back here. That's not how that's supposed to happen. That's probably just an issue with the tracker itself. But yeah, the eyes are like really scuffed in this. It's but yeah, I think I have found what I'm looking for. It's just spring bones. Like 20 different spring bones. Well, 12. But this looks like it. So it seems it was just what I was doing before, just with significantly more bones and presumably significantly more vertices. And I can actually get the settings from this. So I'm actually gonna get a snipping tool thing of these settings, which shouldn't be too significant. But it's still good to have. So I'll keep that for later. And we'll have a look through this menu to see if there's anything else. That's probably it. Got first person on the head, which is where you'd expect first person to be. And yeah, this is all just the head and nothing else. So we don't care about that. Blend shape proxy has the face, and this is going to be for facial expressions and talking and stuff like that. So we'll see these. So that's mouth opening on the A. I is the width, I think. U is, it's just like different mouth shapes. E. E. Okay. I'm getting a little bit crazy. I've got link on both sides, and you got individual. So we know what we're working with shape keys. I know shape keys. No reference to the hair, so nothing significant there. VIM humanoid. This has things. This is significant. So what I believe this is stuff like the not that one, the tracking software, so VC Face and DSS. they need to be able to assign their like what bone goes to what. So for this, it's like the essential ones are like head, neck, chest, spine, hips, and then you got hands and such and legs. So this would be telling whatever is receiving VRM to what bone belongs to what. This is just labeling, but for code. And got the optional stuff here for fingers, which aren't necessary for the tracking to run, but can be run. So I don't believe that has any reference to the hair, but it is still good to know. We'll check the meta. This is literally just a label. Yep. And that is everything. So I believe this has told us what we're looking for. And it is using exactly what I started with, just more of it and using these specific settings, which I can play with anyway. So to fix the model up, I just need more bones, more vertices. Like with the cloak, it's using like 4 bones for the entire cloak at the moment. So I'm guessing that's just not enough for the physics to handle at the moment. And so I'm gonna have to add more vertices for the new bones to connect to. I'm gonna have to add the new bones, and that's gonna slow me down a bunch, but I'll get there eventually. Um, I could do that now. I think I've got like probably half an hour before lunch, dinner. It is just me and my dad today, so um, do, do, do. So yeah, I think we literally just need more bones and vertices, and that's it. Also, yeah, I'm a skeleton. Always need more bones. True. I mean, my face is like a normal face. Um, this is also very interesting, actually, looking through this, because it may sound like I haven't achieved a whole lot because I'm coming to the conclusion that I need to use exactly what I started with. But what I was doing before is I was exporting from Blender and putting it into Unity so I could add extra stuff here. But since I now know where this menu is, the VIM menu, I might be able to completely skip Unity and add the spring bones in Blender itself. Because you've got the option to add a new spring bone here. So, since that was pretty much all I was using Unity for, I should be able to cut out an entire section of the work process and just do literally all the work from this menu, which is a good thing and will help us out. The Clyde is, man, man, I'll figure that out later. We don't really need all of that. So, um, learning, learning VRM means I no longer need Unity. I can actually just like close this now. I don't need to save it. So Unity no longer a requirement. Make it in Blender. I am kind of tempted to stop early just because I've been using my brain for all of that, but we'll keep going for now. So these were my bones before. My brain is slightly fried, but that's just normal at this point. These are our spring bones. See, we've got 0 in here because I was using Unity to add them, but I can just put them in myself. Do 4 empty spring bones. I mean, I could do all of this on like one spring bone. Like one set of bones. Like I could have this bone split up into like 5 different bones, going down to here, and then just have that do everything. But I think it would be better to do like 5 from here, going down to here, and then an extra like 3 going from the wrist down to here. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but like, I'm going to move independently, but like, since we've got the elbow and the wrist acting independently, it's going to be, and like, easy, like, to have it bending at the wrist is going to be easier done by having a separate bone coming up from the wrist and elbow. Pretty sure I said one of these wrist when I meant to say elbow, but yeah, you guys understand. So this is empty at the moment. That is concerning, but I will put a bone into it. We want the rope in a L, I believe. Yeah, rope in a, that's R. These are, where's L? Where has L gone? Rope, rope in a L. Yes. So that is no longer marked as empty, which is a little bit concerning before, but it is fine now. We add a bone to this one. It's going to be outer. Yes, move outer L. I have to find that. Robe outer L. And we're going to do robe inner R, and then robe outer. Oops, where'd it go? And then robe outer R. To do empty bones, add bone. So if I can get this working, then that should finally be the end of the model creation, which was supposed to be done like 2 weeks ago, and I kept like doing other stuff instead. And maybe I'll finally make a YouTube short. It's gonna be a bit of a crazy moment. Is this inner or outer we're doing first? We'll do inner. Yeah. Inner, outer, inner, outer. Just makes it easier to work with. Bones, add bone, bone. Outer R. And that is good. We can pull the settings that we had before for the hair. Stiffness is 0.25, drag force is 0.4. We are going to want gravity on ours, but I will figure that out later. Like, at the moment, we're still going to have the issue with when we rotate our elbow, then this is also going to rotate around. So I'm going to have to change some settings for that. I'm not sure if exporting from here will keep the no rotation parenting thing. Like in Blender, I've got it set up so these bones won't rotate, like the cloak bones won't rotate with the elbow bones. But I don't think VRM can actually have that. So we'll just do it manually using other stuff and just going through settings. We'll figure it out. I always do. That one's sorted. 0.25 and 0.4, I believe it was. Yes. 0.4. 0.25. 0.4. So that is set up with the same settings. I don't have the gravity direction. That's Z-1. An issue I did have before is when I was importing to Unity, for whatever reason, the gravity direction would be wrong. So it would like start falling upwards or backwards, which isn't great, and I'm not sure if that will persist if I'm exporting directly from Unity. Hopefully it won't. If it does, then we're gonna have to either figure out what's causing it or just change the gravity direction, which is lazy but effective. We don't care about collider groups, I'm pretty sure. We can try exporting this. This isn't gonna work, but it'll be interesting to see what effect it has. And this will be the first time exporting from Unity to directly VIM. Although, for that I'm also going to have to figure out the shape keys, which I figured it out in Unity, and I'm gonna have to refigure it out using just Blender, or actually just like put it into just claiming the string from a string. I mean, like when I was testing it in Unity, like one of the sides of the click was falling forward and the other one was falling back. So I'm not entirely sure what's up with that, but it would be interesting. But I'm gonna have to figure out how to do blend shapes in Blender. Like these control facial expressions and mouse movement, stuff like that. So I should be able to assign them in this menu somehow. Like, um, I'm pretty sure I can just put a keybind on like this somehow. Like, I'm pretty sure this is the keybind symbol. Unless it wants me to actually make the shape key in here, which, yeah. It might want me to put this into a certain shape, assign the thing here, and then change the shape, put it here, and that will be the shape key, which I'm hoping it isn't, because I do actually have some very basic shape keys set up. They're not great, but good for testing. There's someone here. Why does this have like 3 armatures? We don't need those two. And the red ones are the ones where an armature was connected but got deleted. That isn't important anymore. So, shape keys I've got are like I got the mouse movement here. I can open and close the mouse with that. So if I can assign those to the other thing, then that'd be good. But I don't know how, and I'll figure it out later. We are gonna export as VRM. We're not gonna have any facial movements, and we don't care. And we will import that into VC Face with the proper tracking from DSS. I was thinking maybe I'll just do it in DSS and be like real lazy with it. But I'm not sure if DSS and VC Face handle their physics the same. But I probably would like try it in both, But we'll do it in VC Face first. We're gonna remove the old avatar, we're gonna put the new one in. How broken will this be? So physics initially fine. I had some settings I tested where it would just like immediately freak out, but it hasn't done that yet, which is good. We turn the tracking on, which is going to be a mess, and yeah, okay. It could be worse. It could be worse. Okay, let's actually move the camera around, get a better shot. So camera's now on the actual laptop and should be tracking better. Alright, here we go. So, yeah, it still needs work. It still needs work. So, you see when I rotate a hand, the entire cloak rotates with it, which is very, very bad. Flawless, yeah, yeah. This is why I posted on Discord. It was like nearly done, and it's still not doing anything. I need to fix a lot of things, but I'm gonna get that eventually. It's just gonna take me a while. Camera's slightly better now. So I need to figure out the rotating issue. It's like I should be able to fix that. And the way I was doing it before is I was just removing the stiffness. It's like if you had like on the head like this one, which is like this, and when the head moves, you want the whole hair section to move too, which is great for that. But for this, like, if that entire thing rotates, that is a problem. So what I'm thinking with this is I believe that this is going to be a problem because of having a singular bone handle the entire thing. So I think just chaining together the bone to them is going to fix it. I did mess with more gravity before. The issue with it is that if you put the stiffness all the way to 0, then it freaks out big time and has no idea what it's doing. If you turn gravity up, that does help, but it's not particularly stable. You probably could get it working, but it wouldn't be very good. So, again, what I'm going to do is I've tested the settings before with gravity and stiffness, and they just weren't doing what I wanted them to. So we're going to make a chain of spring joints, just like they've got for this hair section here. And this is like, what was it, like 6 different bones just like strapped together in a line with like a couple coming off the side. So I think if you want the cloak to work properly, you've got to do that. So this is currently good. The face is using the same textures as Blender. I did have issues in Unity where it was like changing the face color, which is kind of weird. But it should be fine now. Can we reset now? Okay, so we are gonna add more bones, and that should fix the issue. So we need to edit our bone setup and do 3 along here and 5 along here. That's what I'm gonna try. At the moment I'm doing the same bone for front and back, which I think is gonna be okay, but I'm not entirely certain. But it might be. So, you know. Where's the origin? It's like not there. Like at the moment, if I rotate this, it then rotates the wrist as well. I can get it to rotate from the base, but I have to actually remember how that works. Unless I just like move this section, that would probably do it. Yeah. So do that. We're gonna put it like there-ish. We're gonna do there to like there and there to like there. This one, same thing. This like here, and just to be like pointed at that base there. We're gonna extend that 2, 3, 4, 5, and hopefully this gives us what we're looking for. That is not lined up there. Whoops. I can improve that. I didn't do that very well. Is that still an issue? I'll redo it anyway, just in case. I can just do it on this plane, and then that to there, extend, and this to here. That's the same as before, just on a plane. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3 across there. I had soup today. Like, I hadn't had soup in ages, and I had like two mugs of soup. Apparently, in my parents' house, we drink soup in a mug. I don't know why. It's just something they're doing. And, it's kind of cool. Like, if I had like a lot of it, I'd probably get sick of it. But like, a little bit of soup is good. So each one of these is going to be a spring bone. I need to add vertices like literally everywhere. My laptop's getting real hot, and I don't know why, but I'm going to ignore it. So modeling, you'll see I've still got the vertices, normals showing rather. Normals, hide. There you go. So you'll see with my current setup, I've got vertices at the top. I got a vertex at the this corner here, and like one at the bottom, and like nothing else in between. It's a very lazy setup. I was hoping to get the physics working first, like improve it later, but it doesn't seem to be an option. So I want to put new vertices across here in a similar sort of pattern to where the bones are. It might be better to like have more bones over here, but they might not be necessary. If they are, then I have to like actually figure out how I'm gonna add them and probably do it like from this shoulder and do an extra set of bones coming up from that joint there and have that coming down the length of this. Which, uh, man, that like take effort. So we're gonna do this for now, and we can change it later if needed. Loop cut isn't working, but can give me good references. So, loop cut will just cut like fully across an object at the halfway point of an edge that you're selecting, but it doesn't always actually like know how to get around the object. Like here, it only gets that one side there. But we're gonna split it up anyway. I want like one to be like what is that? 0.5, I think. Sure. I want this to be like roughly the same on both of them. So do it at the same time on each. That's not entirely correct, but it's good enough for now. Good enough for now. Down is that's like 0.5. Close enough. 0.5 from both. The wedging is going to get a little bit weird on this. That's because I'm using smooth shade, so it doesn't want to show the actual edges. But when I'm editing it, it doesn't actually know what to do, so it just freaks out a little. This we're doing like 0.3, I think. Yeah, 0.3 on both sides. Like a normal one there. That works like that, and then this one to be. We can do like perfect thirds, so we do like we're just doing like 0.3, and then a normal one there. I actually do this like front and back as well, which is gonna be kind of a pain, but you know, that's going the opposite way to what I expected, minus 0.3, and then a regular cut there. That's asymmetrical, but close enough. We don't really care. I have to do like lines up and down as well, but I'll figure that out later. Do lines like there to there. Sometimes the cutting tool doesn't actually work across a plane, but here it has, which is a very good sign. Do there. I just sort of zigzag our way out. There to there. There to there. There to not there, not there. That's bad. There to there. And back up to the top. Repeat on both sides. So hopefully this will eventually be done. I completely missed a vertice here. Oops. I need to make that symmetrical on both sides. That's there to there to there, as well as from here to. I could probably just like make the cloak actually symmetrical. I did turn it off before because it means that the physics is also mirrored, but it would actually like it's been getting like gradually more asymmetrical as I've been working with it. So at some point I need to actually tidy it up, but it's good enough for now, so I just haven't really got around to it. What I'm probably gonna end up doing is make the very first bone in the chain just completely unaffected by stiffness, which means it shouldn't be affected by the rotation of the elbow, which caused issues before because then there wouldn't be any force holding it in place and it would just like completely freak out. I can make it like very, very low stiffness, and then the rest of the bones should be able to compensate. Soupy soup. Okay. I do a line bottom to top on both sides. I can do like I got two anchor points we can use. There to there. What have I done here? That's not the right point. But it's close enough. I can use it anyway. To that point, that point, that point merge into the last one. That didn't work at all. Really gonna redo it. I mean, like most of this is just for learning. Like, I know I'm not particularly good at this at the moment, but like, I figure the more I do it and the more I figure out, then the better I'm gonna get over time. So like, even though this is like extremely scuffed at the moment, then like eventually I should be able to actually do fancy stuff. At the moment, it's like isn't really any better than it's doing in VRM or no Vroid. Like I'm assuming Vroid probably won't have stuff like my rib cage and my heart and stuff. So there's gonna be things it can't do, but like for a lot of it, oh, this is backside too. Oh, like most of this I probably could just done in Vroid, but by doing it like this, I can then do the fancy stuff and all of that later on. This is just manual labor at this point. Okay, let's do the backside too then. I gotta like do it on the inside, so it's gonna be like I said, do it at a really weird angle. From I'm gonna hide the armature. I'm gonna like go in around the back, which is I can't actually see the vertices, so I don't know where I'm going, but it will like auto-select me in a place. I just use that. And just climb my way up. That should be all of them. I should like roughly line up with the other side, which it doesn't because I missed a piece. I might both just delete that edge. Maybe. I can put it back. Delete edge. No, I can't. Well, I could fill in across here, but that sometimes causes issues, so I'm not going to. And it's on the inside, so it probably doesn't matter anyway. Uh, every day I get lazier. And that went across to here, and then that continues as normal. And I do the up and down, which I don't actually have a vertex to connect to, so I'm just gonna eyeball it like there to like there-ish, good enough. There to like there-ish, good enough. Roughly lines up, and roughly is good enough for me. Repeat on the back of the front of the other side. And I'm not gonna do the entire backside yet. I want to see if the physics works on the front and just like ignore the back. They'll probably be fine. I mean, like if the front works, then the back will also work, kind of thing. Like, it's not gonna be fine like this, but it's just something I hopefully won't have to worry about. Okay, so we do there to there. This, that one to that one. Don't miss one right at the start. Yes, I did. So from this corner to this one, yep. From this corner to the middle, yep. And we climb up in the zigzag. Not there, not there. I'm just gonna go up sideways. Oh, zigzag. Like so. And then we do the up and down across like that. Roughly something like that. That's pretty cool. Though that is good. Also, kind of want to show you guys what I'm doing on careful, because for my for working in uh Thailand and hopefully Japan later on, 'cause I'm going to be teaching English there, I have to get an actual qualification. That means which means I can teach English overseas. And this is supposed to be a 120-hour course, which is of course very long. So I started this like a couple of days ago. I'm gonna actually show you guys this thing. I'm not sure I'm actually like allowed to show you like what's actually on it because it's like it's a paid course and all, but I can show you the menu. No one really cares about that. I mean, they might, but what are they gonna do about it? That is my fucking email. I should not have had that up. Whoops. Oh well. I would have had that up probably somewhere anyway. You would have been able to figure it out. Yeah, I really shouldn't have that open. Okay, never mind. We're not looking at that. But it's supposed to take 120 hours. I'm like 12% of the way through it. I mean, none of that's like particularly bad. Like I've already like shown most of you guys that stuff. Um, so yeah, I'm fairly certain I can't like actually stream the content of the course, but like I spend like maybe 2 or 3 hours on it at this point. I'm 12% of the way done. it's got 12 modules. I've done 2 of them, so it's like, that's definitely not 120 hours. I'm estimating between 12 and 20. So it's like, yeah, I just can't see that's cool. Like 80% of this thing is just like complete fluff and like common sense. Like it's something I've like noticed with this sort of thing. It's like they like list out each like individual thing, and like at the end of like every other section they have like things saying like there's like a lot of information here, so like go take a rest, like have a drink, something like that, and then come back with this later. It's like you really don't need to do that. Like if I was actually taking all the like breaks and reflection time that I think, then like well yeah, I would be going for the full 120 hours if I took all those breaks. It's like there's I would spend more time on break than I would like actually doing the course. Like if I do like take the higher end of my estimate of 20 hours, that means that I'm only actually using a sixth of the time. So somewhere in this 20-hour course, they're expecting me to just spend 100 hours doing something. And it's now I don't even know what I'd even be doing, but like it's all like I don't know, it's like working like in childcare. I do that in the USA summer camp thing. Now teaching English, like so much about the instructions is just like complete fluff and just not important at all. Like I could probably skip through like over half of all the content on here and just not lose a single bit of information. Like so much of it is just completely useless. And there's things like they make you listen to a podcast too. And like the last podcast, like it was like 6 minutes long, something like that. Just like as you're going through the course. And like about half of this was the guy doing the podcast telling a story about how it was raining and so his taxi to the school was late or like almost late on a day where he was being watched by the head teacher, something like that, to like evaluate his progress. And so he panicked and he like accidentally left his bag on a radiator and it started melting. Like the stuff inside. He was doing like films, things like that, for a projector. And like started smelling really bad, so they had to like end up evacuating the classroom kind of thing. And it's like that has no fucking relevance to how I'm gonna teach English. Like I don't need to know a story about how some guy burnt his projector film on a radiator. Like, it's the whole thing about like it is like plan and like you gotta show up always happy and like always have a I don't even know what it's talking about. I passed that section of the course on like 90%. There's 10 questions and like 9 of 10. It's like most of this is not at all useful. I mean, it pretty much is a scam. Like, it wasn't bad for me because the company I've signed up with gave me a discount code, which meant I got the course for free, but it usually costs 300 quid, which is a ridiculous amount of money. Like, it is nowhere near worth that. I if it does actually take me 20 hours, then that's like what the fuck is that? That's 15 quid per hour of learning for a pre-made online thing. And that is ridiculous. Like most places have this qualification as like a legal requirement before you work there. Like, it is one of the dumbest qualifications I've ever gotten. I have no idea why this thing is mandatory, because it is like complete dog, you know? So that's my little story on that. Anyway, we have bones we need to assign weight to now. But like, that is like genuinely the worst course I've ever done. I'm already like 12% of the way through it, and like, I've barely started it. I haven't put any effort in yet. Okay, armature, weight paint. Select that, select the cloak, do weight paint. And I have to tell Blender what I want all of these bones to actually be connected to. Um, I might actually, I might use the automatic weights for this. If I deparent it and then reparent it with automatic weights, then it will do vertices weights based on how close they are to certain bones, which is really bad for like these legs are close enough where these legs would have a weight on these vertices. But I think it would be faster for me to get rid of that than it would be for me to manually add all the weight on this. I'm gonna deparent the cloak, clear parent, and then grab this parent with automatic weights. I should have saved before I did that just in case, but oh well. Then weight paint, and we should see each bone has now got weights signed up automatically, which hasn't actually worked particularly well. Now you see the legs now have influence, which we don't want. Okay, that's not as good as I wanted it to be. That's nowhere near. I'd have to still manually go over that. Okay, we're doing manual weight paint. Let's undo the change I just did. Assuming it's still in there. Back to weight paint. That should be back to normal now. Maybe. We'll try this again. Weight paint, select some bones. Why is that not selecting? Why is that not selecting? Do, 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 do. What have I done wrong? Interesting. Hmm. In a way that wouldn't be working. Maybe it's because I did the weird parenting stuff. I'm gonna save this, reopen it, just in case I just messed it up. Pretty sure I didn't do that, didn't actually reopen it, but we'll check anyway. Weight paint. Yeah, it didn't. We're gonna switch to the previous thing we were working on, and then back to it to force it to actually do what it said. That loaded way too quickly. Why is that loading so quickly? It's probably just because I'm not on power saving mode for once. Okay. Grab that. That has definitely reloaded. That's why, because it's not actually parented anymore. Well, I finally did the undos wrong. but well, we'll do it with empty weights. We can go back to weight paint, and all of these should be set to 0, but they are not. They have retained their previous settings. Okay. So we're gonna manually do this. We're gonna do selecting with full weight on vertices. We're gonna actually turn off all the current weight it has, which might take me a moment. That is set to 0. Doing this set to 0. Just all of them. Just all of them. Weight set 0. And now I can manually start putting some information in. So we want these vertices on both sides. I don't have it on the back. I completely forgot about that, which is fine actually. Set weight on that has to be 100 weight. For those who don't know, the weight is just how much the bone affects the vertices. So if you have a vertex at the end of a bone set to 0, then the bone will not affect that vertex at all. If you have it set to 1, then whenever the bone rotates or moves, then that vertex will fully move with that bone. And you can do like 0.5 and it would do it halfway. You've got like 2 bones set to 100%, then they will like both of them have 50% overall. Like sometimes you'll have a bone connected to 100%, you'll expect it to move with 100%, and you'll move it, it'll only go halfway and you'll find it's still set to another bone, which is a little bit annoying, but you know, these things happen. I'm going to do this on every single bone. So these, they're going to take me a while. I should have told the projector story as the film whilst I was doing this. Oh well. Got that. Got the bone. And then set weight. For these bones, that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to put these bones on both of the inside vertices and the one like on the very inside. This one's probably going to end up being a new chain of bones, but it might not be needed, so I'm not going to do it yet. Plus, I do actually need to have dinner at some point, so I don't want to do it like too much, you know? Honestly, like, if I can get results from this before I have to go, then that would be good, but you know, it might not happen in time, but I'm hoping it will. Do this bone on these. I think it's Shift K, it said? Yeah, Shift K. New bone here, do this, grab these two, Shift K. No, Control K. No, Shift K. I said Control K, pressed Shift K, and said Shift K and pressed Control K. I forgot to do the inside vertices as well. Whoops. Then I have to go through every single bone again and like do that again. Oh well. Yeah. Well. Modeling is very, very slow. Very slow. But we'll get there eventually. This wants both of them to do Shift K. Grab this one to do. So these two bones are going to share this vertex, C, which means that they're both going to have half control over it. It should be everything actually on this side. So do it over here as well. And do this. Shift K. Do this bone. Vertices. Shift K. I could probably do this faster with shortcuts and the keys. I got Shift K on the assignment, which is slightly faster, but there's probably other ways for me to do it. To do things too. Throat's done to give out, but not too bad. I just drink more water. I'm going for 2 hours 40 minutes at this point. So my throat usually gives out around 3 hours, but you know, I don't want to like stop every time I get a little bit of a problem, because then I'm never gonna like get better at it. I'd rather abuse my throat a little, but improve over time than always be relaxed, you know? This gets a whole section to it. Wow. I selected both bones in that, but it's fine, didn't do anything. Do this on these, do that, do this on this. Do that on that. And I've once again forgotten the very inside. But yeah. I do like take that approach to most things in life. Like I'd rather be in a like not so great situation short term, but like improve in the long term, than to always be comfortable. So you'll see me like doing lots of unnecessary work, and I mean like this, I could just use Vroid, get a model done like really quickly and just be done with it. Or I can take the long way and do the entire thing through Blender, which is going to take me a long time, let's be honest. But it will make me better in the long term and give me more options later on down the line, you know? I'm going to get this to share them. And that's on the top one. So I usually end up doing the more difficult approach when I have a problem. And it means I take longer. I don't always make things as good, but I am slowly improving over time, you know? And maybe eventually I'll do something. It's whether the things I learned from all of this ever outpace the hindrances I give myself, which I'm sure they will eventually. So this should now, yeah, look at that. That's slightly better now. I mean, like, all the verses are connected, that's what I was going for. If we had any section being left behind, then that would be an issue. I have to test on all of these, but so far, looking good. Yeah, that's what we want. And the outer ones are fine. It's a little bit off at the very edge, but it's good enough for now. Good enough for now. I'm wondering if that versus isn't properly rigged. Maybe it's like connected to this a little bit. No. So I think that is the same on both sides. No, this side's a lot better. So I think I'm missing a little bit of weight on this vertex here. So we'll go back to and double check that. Weight paint. this one, so bones. Yeah, it does look like it's lined up properly. It could be that there's something else weighted to it. There shouldn't be anything else, but there might. Like sometimes when you go into the rigging, it will like automatically select on a different bone, which doesn't actually have any correlation. So it's possible it's got weight from somewhere else, but I don't know where that would be. So we're gonna click through and see if anything actually shows up, which I don't believe it will. This is like on the fingers. I'll have a little play around with the posing just to see if we can get that section to move without the correct bone working on it. So this is fine. The back isn't rigged, but that is not an issue yet. Uh, that is due to how I got set up in Blender. That's not an actual issue. That rigging okay. It looks messy, but I don't think that's actually too bad. I might just leave the vertices potentially scuffed, but oh, no, I am not. You see how the cloak is? No, that's intended. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna leave that like that for now. We're gonna rig all these up to be spring joints. I'm expecting they're still not gonna be good, but I'm hoping I can get it to look slightly like the hair. Like it's gonna, like when I rotate my arms, the entire thing is gonna rotate with it, which is gonna look terrible. But I can fix that later if this works how I am hoping it will. Which, we're never quite certain, but that's how we learn. So we now have bones. And we need to add one of these for every single option. We might be able to copy the data, but data path, but I don't think that's what we want. There's no duplicate options, so I think we just do this manually. I should also actually check what these bones are now, because they probably haven't been renamed yet. I'm gonna have to do that probably now. So, we want shoulders, I believe. That's rope in a L1, and that is automatically named all the way to 4, but that's done at the very end, which I'm not entirely sure if that will be okay, but it might. It might be fine. It might. But I don't really like having it like that. The outer one. I'll try it like this, just because I'm lazy. But it might not give us what we want straight away. But if it doesn't, it will be like a very obvious fix. So we'll try this out. So bones, add bone. Bone is do outer 2. No, outer. We got the outer is no number, so we'll do outer 1, outer 2, which is these 3 joints on the outside. And I'll just go 2, 3, 4, 5 for the inner, because we've already got 1 on that. So outer L2, we want the settings to be 0.25 and 4, I remember them. and no gravity, which is gonna mess with things, but it'll be okay. I could change the audio up slightly, but it's good enough. It's good enough. I can change it later. 0.25, 0.4. This doesn't have a gravity direction. I forgot to do that over here. That's minus Z we want. Minus Z on here. Kind of surprised I'm not having dinner yet, but that's probably fine. Like, it's just me and my dad for dinner today, so we're gonna have pizza at some point because we're both too lazy to cook. So that was outer 2, so that should be all the outers done. And then we'll do inner 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay, we've got inner 1 here. Okay. This is a very slow process. I'm used to doing things quickly. Yeah, pizza's good. Like, my mum does make, like, actual meals for us. Like, nutrition and all that, but, like, it is nice just to have a pizza, you know? I don't typically eat particularly healthy, but, you know. I appreciate the cooking my mum does, but, you know. That was the wrong bone I just selected. Oh, yeah, it would work, but I want inner right 3. I got inner left 3. Inner right 3. There we go. So, gonna go sequentially through all of these. You, I'm guessing it's never know that I don't eat too great. Like, you know, I eat food when I cook for myself. I eat like the same meal, like 20 meals in a row, and I eat a different meal for 20 meals in a row. But like, you know, I haven't perished yet. Like, and that might surprise some people, because you know. But I am. I persist. I'm yet to succumb to starvation or similar. That's right, 4 done. So you know, like over the last few months of university, I just ate pasta. I literally like just pasta. So it's not healthy, but it's enough to get me by. And I'm too lazy to do anything more. That's all the inner right done. So I've done. Uh. Ooh. What have I done here? What have I done here? I got uh outer right 1, outer right 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good. Got no, that's inner. Yeah, inner right 1, 2, 3, 4, and then outer I've got not what I was expecting. Yeah, past the arc was a good time. So I think this one was supposed to be outer, outer right. I thought it over to outer right 2. Uh, outer right 2. So inner right 1, inner 2, 3, 4, 5. Outer 1, 2. And there should be one without a number somewhere, which there isn't. I'm not sure why there isn't, but I would add rope inner R with no number. 0.25, 0.4. And I do still have strong opinions on pasta. I may not be eating pasta whilst I'm at my parents' place, but I do still have opinions on it. That is the left side, this is the right side. Oh, there is a outer 3. I think the left and the right don't have the same naming. So, inner 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, outer 1, 2, 3. That is the right hand side done. Now I need the left hand side. I'm tempted to just remove the ones at the top from naming, but I'll just work around it for now and clean it up. I'm never gonna get around to fixing this, but you know, all the ones are there, they're just not in the right order. And that doesn't actually affect anything, but you know, I could fix it. I could. I'm also not sure if the center bone is actually important. I only just actually noticed that. We'll try it without, but maybe I'll have to like actually fix that. Okay, so we got left side wants after 1 because we already got 0, yes. And then we want outer 2. I'll do the inner after that. 0.25, 0.4. Gravity direction is down. We want our bone to be outer 2. So we've got inner 1 already, so we want 2, 3, 4, 5 on that. Z minus 1, stiffness 0.25, drag force 0.4, bones, add bone. Inner 2. I really wish you could just like copy paste an option on this. There probably is a way of doing it, but I don't know how. I've got to do every single one of these manually, which, like most things in modeling, takes a long time. Bones, add bones is number 3, I believe. Yes, it is. I got confused because I had the inner and outer listed there. So I had outer, like robe outer L2 and robe inner L2 directly above each other. So I got confused for a second there. Well, that's working as intended. We've got 2 more bones and then we can test this. It's gonna look weird, but if it looks anything like the hair, then it's very good and I can improve it very easily. We'll do 4 on this one. Gravity direction in minus Z, which is down. And then final bone. Stiffness 2.5. Drag 0.4. Z minus 1. Bone. Bone. 5. And that should be it for this version of testing. It might not work. It might. If it does work, it'll still look very weird, but it will look weird in a specific way which I am trying to achieve, and I can fix later. But it is time to test. Export VRM, self VRM, export VC face. Man, I hope this works. I spent like an hour just like filling in boxes so I could actually test this. So delete the old version, add the new version. Hopefully it doesn't immediately fail. It looks okay in the preview. Oh, oh, you see that? That looked good. That looked promising. So now we'll put up the tracking for the hands, which is DSS. Yes. Um, and this is about to be testing. Zoom in a little bit. Do like there-ish. Okay. Ah, okay. The camera's still a little bit off, but and keep in mind that the back doesn't have any rigging on it yet. It's only the front, which is. I mean, it definitely still has issues, but like, it's going too far in the middle. That is something I've known about for a while. So it's set up like this, and then the stiffness when I put it down will then bring it to the middle. So this is the setup it's best at, and I can change that with minimal effort. That's actually very, very easy for me to do. That is good. I can bring my hand around, and it does correctly rotate, which is a very big thing because I was having issues with that before. Um, the stiffness is a little bit of an issue. You see, it's like going out to the side. I can stop it from going through the bones because you get collision groups, which I currently don't have any in, but it's I can do 100% do that. I'm not entirely sure how, but it shouldn't be too complicated. But yeah, that's pretty good actually. That is what I was going for. It's still got issues. It still has a lot of things it needs correcting, but this is significantly better than it was before. And this version can actually be tuned, be a lot better. Because originally it's like no matter how much I changed the settings on the old version, it was never going to actually work. It just wouldn't set up properly. But this one, if I change things like the bone stiffness and the gravity, then it should be able to get a decent effect. I can change what the like default poses because like if I put my hands down and it's like way off like that, so I can fix that by just like changing the geometry in here. That's not too much effort. Um, but yeah, we are looking good. Man, look at me go. I reverse engineered a thing and I put it into my own setup. That is some good engineering. And I'm crediting everything I do to engineering, even if it has nothing to do with it, you know? I am doing stuff. Jacking doesn't get the elbows too great, but yeah, I'm doing stuff. Look at me go. Like, it needs a lot of work still, but I have found a solution to the problem. I was planning on working on this, like being at this point, like 2 hours ago at this point, but progress is progress. I mean, like most of that was just like going through boxes in Blender, so it's like it's it needs work, but like woo, A model. This one also won't have the blend shapes for the face, so I wouldn't be able to do facial expressions even if I had that set up. But that shouldn't be too hard to fix. I need to figure out how to do blend shapes through Blender now, or just putting it through Unity again. That is also an option. I need to figure out how to do collision groups so I can have the rib cage colliding with the uh with the cloak. It might have issues with like a vertex going in between the ribs, so I might add an invisible bit of geometry to prevent that, like the old invisible wall trick in games. So, Unity is probably easier, but both of them work. And Unity means there's a whole another section of actual software I need to use. Like one thing I've learned going through university and stuff like that is the less amount of tools you can use to get a job done usually performs better. So if I can avoid using Unity, then I will. Even though it is like a great tool, but like if I can do it straight through just Blender, then I will. And it does look like the options are all here. I just need to actually figure out how to input into them. But yeah. Um, and it's probably also easy to like put the settings in. Oh, what was that doing? I just got stuck down. It is probably easier to put the settings in Unity. Oh, that's odd. So maybe that's like something I should do, but we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. I probably ought to go have my dinner. Like this is pretty much what I was aiming for. This is like I had a problem. I found the solution to it. I haven't tuned that solution at all, but I know how it works and how to use it to fix my problem. This is just the solution at this point. I just need to actually do the blunt work of figuring out how to actually implement it fully. But as I say, I figured it out now. This was like 3 hours of reverse engineering and trial and error, but I got there eventually, and now this kind of works. Woohoo! Um, my music course stopped like a long time ago, and I didn't even realize. I've been sitting here in silence apparently. I was completely unaware. Uh, anyway, so I think I'm gonna call it there. Like, there's of course still work to do, but I think it is pizza time now. So I put the desktop away. There it is. We're gonna go to the ending soon text. Yeah. Thank you, Hilton. I will have a good pizza time. I don't think there's too much else I need to say before I go, so it might just be like adios. Are there any like final questions or anything before I go? Like, it feels like a very sudden ending. Like, I usually like build it up a bit more. But, like I've done like a significant thing, and it would take me a while to go any further. So um, yeah. Well, um, yeah. See you. I'm gonna be on Discord for a while. Oh, not that long, but like, you know. Yeah. Bye.